Hello everybody. In this video we are going to continue working in our application. We are going to take the basic router that we did the last video, and we're going to extend it to add authentication, a fake authentication, and later on in probably next week we will see a real authentication through Firebase. For now, I don't want to continue working the basic router, but I want to use this as a base for our next application, and I want to show you how to do that. So there's something really cool that we can actually go to the settings of the GitHub repo, and we can actually convert this to a template. When you convert it to a template, and I don't think it needs to be saved, that's okay. We just get back, and now we can use this as a template, and we can create a new repo now. And let's create a new repo. Let's call this view fake out. Actually, view router let's actually view fake authorization. And let's make this public. This is going to be important. And I will create that. My new repo is going to be created. And everything that I have before is already there. So I can actually just copy this, do a git clone, go to my view of fake authorization, install my dependencies, npmi, open Visual Studio Code, and at the same time we can actually npm run that just to verify that that is running. Yes, our basic router, but is the new app the one that is actually working. Cool. There's two things that I want to change right away, and one is going to the package.json, and I will change the name to, well, it's going to be three things. Here we call this view fake out. The second one is going to be in the source directory in the index.html. Sorry, in the public. Where is it, my index? Oh, sorry, it's here in this. And I will change this to view fake out. Perfect. And one last time is going to be in our navigation. And we call this view. I call this fake out. There you go. And probably one last thing that I can do. Let's change this from blue to indigo. And indigo. It should be enough. So now we have pretty much our application the way that we needed to have it. What I want to do, not only is going to see the fake authorization, but also we're going to see a little bit of details regarding the, how can I mention that, the route and how we can actually handle those. So for now, we saw how the router links actually need to be. Let me just minimize this. Let me try to make this a little bit smaller. Hopefully everybody can read it over there. But let's change the hover to be instead of green. Let's change that to indigo. There you go. And the text is a little bit green, so probably the text needs to change too. Let's look for the text. There you go. Hover text green. Let's call this to indigo. Oops, didn't select it correctly. And there's a way to select the three of them right away, but yeah, I never learned that. Indigo. Okay, I like it. Everything is working and it's supposed to. So the first things that I will need to do before we actually go to the new sections, and now I believe too small. Let's in the Git section, let's add all the changes and local changes. Let's call this. Right? Now that we have that, I just want to open my page home and I want to make some changes. And my page home is my index. Instead of doing homepage, I want to put something here. So what I was thinking, just to keep it simple, I wanted to make some kind of like an image in the middle. And one really good resource is Undraw image. These are actually coming from Katarina. Sorry, I will not try even to pronounce that. I don't want to mess up. But she is actually really good in order to open source these drawings. And there is a hundred of drawings that we can actually choose and select. And we just can download and use it in our projects on our application. And it has pretty much a drawing for every situation, right? So it's everything. And also it's pretty cool that you can actually change the colors, the main one, and the drawings change the tone that you need to have, right? So it's pretty neat. And the basic thing will be just download the image and put it like put it on the asset and put an image in your application. Or we can use something like this. Somebody already create those images and make it component. So we can actually see the complete list and we can just pretty much import as a component and the image is going to be already there. And we can change sizing and primary colors too. So it's actually really cool. I never tried it before. Let's see how it works. Let me make this one. Let me open my terminal. Oops. I need to copy this over. There you go. I will install those. And after I install it, let's look for complete list. Let's look for welcome. It didn't work. Let's try again. Yeah, I like it. So here in my home direct, in my index, I will create my script tag, a script setup, and I will import that. And after I import it, I should be able just to use it. Let's try it. Let's change my home for that, and let's see what happens. Didn't like it, but I installed it. I probably should be tested before actually create the video. We have an issue here. Didn't like it. Let me close my. Let's try running. Did I install it? Yes, I think I did. npm I view draw npm run dev. Yeah, probably I should be reading something about this. Actually, this will not work. So let's do the old-fashioned way to download it. Let me look for my welcome. Welcome. There's actually more in there. We have the cast. What else do we have here? Hello. Let's download this one. And probably you should not be seeing that. And what I want to do is first, instead of install it, I need to remove it. I think it's remove or uninstall. I don't remember actually. It was removed. Okay, so we can do remove. After I do the remove, I just need to remove the reference to. Let's do this one over here, remove this one over here, and try my npm run dev. Okay, it's working. So now that it's working, I cannot copy from my, I have my mount, users, downloads, and I have, it's called undraw, and I will copy this in my source directory assets, or assets outside that. Oh, I don't have folder assets. So before I copy, let me just make in my source a new folder called assets. And now I will just copy this to my source. Assets folder. And in my assets folder should be there. I can see it over here. So let me just change it to rename it to my background index. Right? And now we can just go to our index and we can just do a simple image tag. And my source will be my assets, and my assets are one level before, background index, and let's call this hello background. Call it is right there. Cool. Now that we bring that, let's actually put it a little bit in the middle. So probably we can, let's do a simple class, sorry, a simple div, put the image inside, and on and this one, we'll do class flex, justify center, item center, height full, high screen. That could work. You give it that little screenshot, but it does what it's supposed to be. I can calculate this, so let me check my navbar. It have a of 88. We can see that the height is over here. You can see it. So it had a height of 88, and the way that I will calculate is that it's pretty much. Let's do an arbitrary number and to something that we can see in Tailwind too. So I can do 100. I can do, I believe, is calc. Actually, I don't know if I should be doing this. 100 vertical space minus 88 pixels. No, it didn't work. So what I can do here is I want to make this full, detect the size of this screen without my navbar itself. The way to do it is I need to calculate the complete height minus the height of my navbar itself. I was thinking that probably we can do it over here, but it's not. So probably I can create in my Talking config and extend and I will extend my height, I believe. And let's call this and we can look at Talking, CSS, extend, height, minus navbar. Somebody already did it. Minus header, that should work. Okay. It's probably what I was trying to do, but it should be somewhere else. So let me check something. No, either. Hmm. That we know is 88 pixels, and 88 should be pretty much this one. 3 rems, maybe. Tolwyn, extend height, minus, no menu. Mm, minus, sorry. Mm. Let me look for that. Let me pause the video, look for the answer, and I will let you know. And I found it. It's actually, we are almost there. So we need to add the extend. We create the name. Let's call this screen, no navigation. And it will be pretty much calc 100 EH and to minus 88 pixels. That should work. So that means that in my index, I can do now that custom size over here. And I should be able to do h dash screen non-app is the one that we just created. Uh, did it work? Let's make a red there just to see the size. No, it didn't work. So probably instead of doing height, should be min height. Actually didn't work. That's really, really weird. Let's comment down my text. Okay, it's there, but it's just not the full size. If I do high screen, it's actually doing everything. But if I do screen non-app, it doesn't calculate. So probably I need to change this calculation. There you go. I needed that space. Okay, now I can see this is actually the size that I need. So now I can remove this background. I can remove the letter and uncomment my text by image. And now I have my image at the background. Perfect. And I can put probably something here. And let's do welcome. What? Okay. Welcome. There you go. So this should be flex call. And let's do space Y, I don't know, 12. And let's this one to have a class of font extra light, text 6 Excel, tracking title. Maybe. And because this image actually have a ugly white background, let's actually put this white background. So it's going to be changed a little bit. That is in here. Let's remove this from the index where we actually put it. And now we have something like that, and yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to. Cool. Let's copy all over. Let's put it on in the about page. But let's change the image and let's look for another one. Let's look for actually where I can type. There you go, here. Let's look for about. See what we can find. Yeah, probably this one. A little more like search. Yeah, maybe. Let's get this image. Let's save it. Let's copy it over, but now is undraw page him. And let's call this background about.png and just change this to begin about. There you go. Home about. Looks like this is actually a lot bigger. If a lot bigger, let's change the space between them. And let's change the message to about page. You'll have the home and the about page. Cool. Well, this start looking a little bit better. And probably we can change the hello. And let's convert this hello to login page. So let's do rename, login. It will break everything. So my extension will do the refactoring. I do OK. What the refactoring mean? That wherever we have reference, and it's actually the router, it changes the name to that. So let's actually change here to login, 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 and let's change this to login. There you go. So hello doesn't exist, but it does. But something broke now. But hello name hello. Oh, we need to change our navbar. We have this one. Let's change to login. Name login. There you go. So we have the home, the about, the login. But it's not rendering. There you go. Home, about, and this one should be login, and this text should be login. Okay, login page. Let's start building our login form. And probably let's use the same element from home. Let's paste it on login. Let's change this to login. Probably something like this. And let's copy over again. So now it's going to be actually, and you can copy over wherever you want it, right? But in my case, for secure login, there you go. And we'll call background login, bg login. Okay. So let's remove this one. I don't need to have that. Let's make this image smaller. Height 12. Let's put more. Height 72. Maybe. And let's make a simple card. Let's see how it goes. So let's actually put that image inside the card. So let's do a simple div. And the image will be inside. And this will be class. And let's make shadow to Excel. We have that right there. It's just at the bottom. It looks like just at the bottom. Let's do border 2. Or we can change to border 4. Probably. Should work. Let's make it rounded. Large. And I don't like it actually. Let's just keep the shadow. But I was thinking that actually the shadow will add like the shadow across the board. Let's look for Tallwin card. Oh, yeah. Let's look at this one. This is old. This is version 1. But probably can get some ideas what they're actually doing. Oh, I think it's there, but I can see it in this monitor. Probably you can see it. Yeah, sorry, my monitor is the one doesn't allow me to see it. But probably you are able to. So yeah, we have that little line over here. I can see it now in another monitor. Yeah, it's there. Okay. Well, let's keep that one like that and let's make this smaller. Let's do 32. Okay. Should go. And let's do a flex. Right. And then we have the image. And then on the other side, we should have the form. Oops. And on the form, we will have, and whoa, what I did there. Um, Let me put input with label. No, I'm being lazy, but it didn't work what I was thinking to do. Mm, you're going to use what we can do here. Oh, no, I don't need all that. I need a input, type text. Let's do class border 2, and then another input, type password, and let's do class border 2. This element should be class flex column, and space y of 4 maybe, and let's do a button type submit. There you go. Now let's put login, and this button let's do class background indigo 600, text white. Actually, let's change to text indigo 200. Let's do padding y of 4. No, it's too much. Padding y of 2. And probably the whole form where I have the form. Right here. Let's do a padding of 4 2. There you go. And this element, we have flex. Let's put it justify center. Item center. Okay. And let's start looking like a, let's do a placeholder username. And let's make this a placeholder called password. And probably here we just need to add a padding x of 2, padding y of 4, or the other way around. Actually, padding general of 2. Yes, I'll make this rounded, rounder large. So if we do this here, I need to repeat that here. We do padding of 2 and rounded large. Okay. We start looking as an login form. Can we make the image larger? 64. Okay, yeah. There you go. And if we do this, we do the submit, right? And I have some credentials saved. That's why it's just put over there. Okay. So yeah, we'll go into the functionality later, but we just create like a simple login form. Or just let's make the button rounded to rounded large. There you go. It's a lot better. I was thinking to this to actually we have a bigger shadow. We have drop shadow. What does the drop shadow does? Oh no. This is with per element pretty much. Nope. Yeah, that should work. Maybe. And we can do probably background gray 100 just to change the color just a little bit. Gray. Um, oh, I like the separation. Let's make 300. Maybe too much. Yeah, I like that. I'm starting liking that. Does the image look sharp on the right? I think it does. Let me just do a overflow hidden. And there you go. That means that the image doesn't go outside the container itself. Oh, so we have username and the password. So we keep that as it is right now. Don't worry, everything's going to be shared, so you will have access to the source code. What else can we do here? Let's do secret page. Let's actually mm, add it, image, pages, and login from layout. Boom. Perfect. Let me try to push it. Can I push it? I don't think I can push it through here. Why cannot do it? Hmm. Can I push it now? Didn't like it. Why didn't like it? Yeah, I don't know how Visual Studio doesn't know how to do it, but we can do it through here. We can do just git push origin master. Yes, hello. Sorry, let me just authenticate here. Mm, Waiting. Okay, I think it just worked. Yes, everything got pushed. If I refresh this, there you go. Yes, I can see my new stuff there. Perfect. Okay, after I have this, let's add a new page and let's call this secret. And this secret page will be mm, hide it somehow. Let's do a simple template. Let's do a simple paragraph and let's put Lauren several times. Let's make that this content is hidden. Of course, we need to add it to the router. Where is my router? And of course, need to be here. And I will show you a little bit what to do with this secret page and how we can actually protect it. We need to go to an app. Oops, my nav, and I will add an extra. Let's put it just through the name. Secret, secret. There you go. This is a simple page with a bunch of text, right? And let's make that this text is actually important or just logging in users are able to see it. So what I want to try to do is we want to try to log in and we need to show this. We're going to be using our view router, next router, and we're going to be using the navigation guard. There's two ways to do navigation guard. It's for every route or for a specific route before enter. What I'm going to do is to do something about this. For example, we know that here we're able to go to the secret page. But let me add this code in my router. And let me show you what it does. Actually, let me just add it. Secret page. Perfect. So let's open our router. And my secret page, I will do something like this. What it's going to do is reject navigation. So what happened here is before I go enter, I can able to see two elements. To and from. To is from where I am, like where I'm going. That will be secret. And from is where I'm coming from, right? And we can actually use that and we see like different parameters and things from the route or specific page that we are. For here, we use returning false. That means that the content is not loaded at all. So I can go to all of them, but the secret, I cannot do nothing about it. You can see, I click it and it doesn't work. If I change here to secret, it doesn't render anything, right? So with this simple false, it doesn't allow me to go through the simple link. Let me change this to true. And if I click secret, secret work again. So we can easily implement or login information and verify if we are authenticated as a user. And we can validate that. There's a way to actually have a third element called next. And we can just do next to that. So whenever I try to go to secret, it will redirect me to here. to home. Even if I go manually now, and it redirects me there. So that means that we should be able to render to move the person from the page if it's not authenticated. So let's add that logic, and we will add that logic in our composable area. We don't have it that. So let's create a new file that's going to be on the composable, and we call use authorization.javascript. Boom. Here we just import reference from view, right? And we're going to do cons is authenticated is false by default, right? Unless so it's authenticated is false by default, we're going to fake it, right? So let me do cons users equal, and let's do an array, and let's do username, let's do, I like that one. What it did is the admin, and let's call name administrator, right? And let's add a second user, put at the end. Let's call this Roman B. Let's put a simple password and it's called Rodolfo, right? So I just added, imagine that this actually saves in a database or somewhere else. Of course, the password needs to be encrypted. You will never send this type of password, right? Plain text is not practical, but for now should be more than enough. And now we can actually cons use out, and let's create wow, I'm actually impressed. My Yuko Copilot was able to pretty much predict what I needed. So we just created um, let's change this to be users from database, right? And let's make another one called cons user equal reference of an empty object, right? Let's actually put it something like that. Reference null. The user doesn't exist. So what I want to do, log in, log out, and let's actually the user need to be exported to. So when I click login, I will send the username and password. And I would like for my user from database and check that my user is equal, the username and the password is equal to the password. If that's true, see if the user exists, I will change the authentication to true and user dot value equal and let's bring name will be username. Let's actually just equal to, then this actually to be an empty string probably. And name So the value will be username, user.name. There you go. So we authenticate the user and we do that. When we click log out, the authentication is false, and of course, we need to empty out our user, right? And that's pretty much it. And we need to send it authenticated, login, logout, and the user object itself, right? So this is pretty much. Imagine that this came from the database, of course, and this is a SQL statement, right? Or we're actually the endpoint for the APIs, and we will talk about APIs later too. But it's pretty much like to look for that. For now, we are faking it. And that should be it. So let's go to login. Well, before actually go to login, let's go to the navigation. And the first thing that I need to do, I need to bring my script tag, set up, and we went to import, use out from possible use authorization. And from here, we're going to do cons, and we're in our navigation, is equal use authorization, of course. And we need to bring is, let me save this, and we need to bring is authenticated, login, no, and logout. I have the login one. I will create another one, but this should be a simple, this could be a simple button without anything. And the cool thing about Tailwind CSS is it's going to be, should be rendered the same. And this should be called logout. Did it work or not? Something failed. Request models does not provide. Oh, I forget something in my use authorization. Export default use authorization. There you go. I can see my login and my logout. But I want to see if I'm authenticated, I should be able to see the login. If not, I should be able to see this too, right? And probably the logout should be the last one. So let's go to the navigation. And let me set my bottom. That is now my logout should be after here. There you go. So the login, we need to have an element is we need to send it or not. And we are reading it's authenticated right now. So the logout, what it's going to do, whenever I click it, I will log out. As simple like that. That's going to be the function that this button is going to be doing. And that's it. And we need to bring a logic to my router link. So we need to show it. Only if we are not authenticated. This one should be a simple be else, right? My secret page is not there until I am authenticated. Now, I cannot do a second be else here. It's not working like that. So probably, oh, it did. Perfect. So my logout is not there. but my login is. So I can go home, I can see my about, this is a public page, and I can go to login. What I want to do is after I click this, you saw that we need to remove it, of course, but also I need to validate to see if the user is authenticated or not. So we can actually provide that kind of logic. So for now, let me just comment this out. Add it. Menu. Login. How can we call it? Menu login logic. Okay, perfect. And now what we need to do is actually go to the login. We need to import from composables use authorization. We need to bring our login, right? Actually, we need to bring our use out, and then after that, we just do const login equal use out as a function. There you go. So how HTML works, the form by default do a submission, and when you post something, the page going to be refresh it. We want to prevent that. So we want to do whenever the form is submitted, and that's an event, so we actually need to submit. We can actually do prevent the default behavior, and I want you to verify the login credential, right? The same thing we need to add it to the pattern itself, because we need to prevent the default behavior and execute login. Then we execute login, and it should be working, right? Now, we just need to verify what is our status. We can actually bring is authenticated, right? Before here, we can actually print is authenticated so we can see it. Log it in, false, right? And we click and it's still false. If we put admin and admin, I know I'm not saving it. This should actually work. Never for this website. There you go. It didn't work with it's authenticated. Oh, it didn't work because actually not sending us. Sorry for that. So we need to import. Yeah, I'm putting over here, but I know matching the content of the username, the password anywhere, and I'm not sending it to the login function. So we just need to import reference from view, right? And we can actually create const username with lowercase u equal reference empty. There you go, yes, and const password equal reference empty by default. And we can type those over here. We can do the b model with username. I'm a b model. In order to match it, it's going to be my password. And my login, I need to send my username and my password. Of course, it should be something like this. And we need to put that one right here too. So by default it's failing. If I put admin, it should work. It didn't. Why didn't it work now? Is authenticated still false? Why? Let me verify that. Give me a second. Okay, I don't know what happened. I restart my server and just start to working. So I just put my admin, and if I click login, my is authenticated changed to true, and my login get hidden, and my logout get came in. When I click this, the logout is executed, and my is authenticated is just false. Right? So simple like that, and now what we want to do is we want to, and you can see the secret page actually didn't come in, and we need to make it come in. So probably, so I didn't change anything here. The vim model worked as suspected. So before we do something extra, I just want to go to my navigation and probably grab, let me remove this VL from here too. Probably can grab those two in a div, right? And then on the div itself, I can do the BLs, right? Of course, because you put a div, I need to make this one also to be flex. There you go. So I log out, my secret and my logout get hidden when I log in. Go here, when I put correct credentials, I can see my secret and my logout menu items. So we are able to protect those and show it this. So let's hide this. I don't need it anymore. I know that it's actually working. Of course, if I put something that is fake and do log out, I will never log in itself. And probably can handle a notification. Maybe we can use a notification. And just to show that, yeah, not wrong credentials, something like that. But for now, let's keep as it is. Login page, let's remove this login. It's authenticated. Let's actually, no, let's keep it. I like it. Right? Admin. It's true. Perfect. Now what I want to do is actually, when I log in, and it's actually true, I want to get redirected to the home one. And I just want to be here. Right? That's it. And we of course the new pages and should be able to go to secret. Of course we need to, right now secret is redirects to home, so it's no way to actually go there. And I want just to protect that just login user should be able to go, right? So let's work on that. The way to work on that should be on my login. So imported login. Let's actually create another function here. Let's make a little bit of space. Like this. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And let's separate this too. And let's create const login in, probably equal a function that will require like that, and we're going to execute. Um, yeah, we're going to log in with username and password. We can actually do if statement. If is authenticated, and it should not be like this, we should go and we should be able to use our route to go somewhere else. And I want to show you how that actually works. Probably got extra stuff here. Yes, one more. There you go. So I want to, instead of sending the login, I will actually do the login in. So I have more control, right? So verify if it's authenticated, I need to do something with my route. So for that, I need to import something, and this is in the view router documentation. From view router, are you going to use our router itself, right? And we can use router, and we're going to push right there, home, right? Is the router, if it is authenticated, we should be able to push to home. Let's see if it actually works. Let's do admin. I click login. It works, but if we didn't get pushed, oh, dot value, oops, admin, login. Do we have an issue? Let's inspect it. Hmm. Then we need to change this to go. So let's go here. Let me check. Dynamic programming navigation. Router push. Yeah, that should work. Well, how can we actually make the router work the way it's supposed to? Um, go all the way to move forward or go backward. So probably we just need to make const router equal use router, and we can just simply here say router.push. If not, we have an issue with our um, admin, login. There you go. It worked right away. So if I want to go to login, to admin, login, and when it's working, it shows, and I'm right here. Cool. So when this works, and if authenticated, I actually push it. Let me log out, log in. This is fake credentials. If I try it, yeah, it doesn't do anything. What I want to do now is probably we can, let's do that at the end, the error message, right? Well, for now, if I do actually this, I would like to change the text from welcome to welcome username, right? And in order to do that, probably we can go, let's actually uh, add it login logic. Unless I open our index itself, we can just import. Remember that we're actually saving the user, so we can actually import useout from composable use authorization, and then call user equal useout, right? We can actually bring is authenticated to, and here with the welcome, I want to add span, and here we're going to bring the user with a space, but this will happen only if it is authenticated, right? So that should work. Let's try to log out, log in, admin, admin. It didn't work. Is authenticated is true, but my user is not getting saved. Do I need to refresh just in case? Let's try again. Admin, admin. But I'm logging in because I can see the logout there and the secret. But this is actually not working. Let's close. Let's just in case. Let me cancel my. Let's restart it. Let's log in. Admin, admin. Yeah, it's not working. If I put true, does it need to be dynamic? No. So you don't put anything. I should be able to see user. Oh, my user is not getting there. Why? If I'm bringing pages equal one level back, composable use out, it's authenticated user, and we send it the user value. Oh, wait. Here's the issue. We call this user, and we call this the user. So we actually have the same name. So we have a problem here regarding scopes. So I have external, what can I say, variable or const in this case, that is user, but internally I'm using the same name to find the user. So let's change this user from DB in singular. This is users in plural. This is user from DB. And if user from DB is working, it should be something like that. And that actually should work. Let's do login, admin, admin. It didn't work again. So my user value is that one. Oh, wait, here. I have a problem with scope too. I don't think so. Because actually do it, log out, log in, admin, admin. Let me go to the index again. Just put something like this. Welcome user, right? This will be only happen if is authenticated. If I do logout, this should be getting hidden. It could be that doesn't work here. Probably might be it doesn't work here. I never imagined that. Let's do be if is authenticated. And this should be my bills, right? And my bills should be welcome user. So if I log in, admin, hmm, if it's authenticated getting, let me see what is happening. Again, sorry for this. Okay, somehow, I don't know what happened with my environment. My changes are not getting pushed, so I just refresh, right? And I see that welcome user is there, so it was really weird. And then I try to log in, and the user changed it, and I notice that this actually should be the other way around. If not authenticated, there you go. And probably we can change now to user. There you go. Welcome administrator. If I do log out, I just see welcome. If I do login, admin, admin, I see welcome administrator. And if I do my other user, welcome Rodolfo. There you go. So I'm able to see and to save my authentication, see my name, and able to publish and get it wherever I need it. Okay, yeah. Let's do the secret page for last. And let's actually go to the secret. Actually, that's actually in the route. Now, here the secret page, I actually just injecting text. That means that the user should be able just to see it. Of course, this should came from a database from another server and just bring the information. So you should not put like secret information directly here, right? It needs to come from a server, and that call will happen until the user is authenticated, pretty much. But for now, for show purposes, we just hiding this information, and we just need to verify if the user is validated. So let's go to the router, and we have here in our secret, we can actually import use out from composable, and we're going to bring only is authenticated from use out, and we can say something like this. Before enter, if it's authenticated, return true. Or actually, I believe we can do just a simple next, proceed, else, and we can actually send them. And I need to close this over here, I believe. There you go. To login page, right? So if I go to login and I go to admin, admin, there you go. Didn't work to go here. Let's change this to return true. Login, admin, secret. Actually, need to specify directly. What I can do? Let me look in the vacation cards. Oh, I just don't. Next, that one is not this one. I should able just to go next. It should work. So why it didn't work here? Next. Let me just refresh just in case. Login, admin, secret is not going. Oh, it's authenticated is not function. Sorry for that. Admin, and now I am able to see the secret page because I'm not authenticated and I'm reading that from my user authorization, right? And that way, when I did the login, if I do log out, ooh, we can see something extra here. The secret page was already rendered, so we cannot do something about that. If we're trying to go to, let's go to home. If you want to go to secret page right away, this should not work. So this one is actually not working. Let's remove this else and let's put this one over here. In theory, if I go to secret, this should not be rendered because I'm not authenticated. So what is happening here? Again. Okay, let me try to restart my server just in case. Start my app. I should not be able to be here because I'm not authenticated. So now let me check again what's happening. Let me see. There's a simple console log. Let's check if it's authenticated is true or false. Um, hmm. Oh my God. Yeah, this is okay because I'm using it outside a template. I need to reference the value. There you go. Didn't work now. Perfect. So if I go to secret, I can go to secret and send me to login right away. Even if I'm here, I'm gonna try to go to secret. It send me right away out. But I believe we still have an issue if we try to go something like this. We go to here and we log out. We stay there. So if we refresh it, we are sent it out. So what we can do here is in our logout, and that's going to be in our use authentication. Mm, Or we can use it on the app too. Let's use it here in the app. So the way to use it should be something like import use router from view router, right? and then I do const router equal view router, and then I do simple const login out. It's a function that will be creating is the logout, and will also router push home directory. And whenever we click that button, instead of log out directly, we're going to do the login out in order to make that redirection to home. So let's do admin, secret. If I log out, it sends me to home. So with that, sorry, we have some hiccups here and there, but I don't want to actually remove it from the video because I want to show you how to troubleshoot those hiccups, right? And most of those will be just refreshing the server and refreshing the app, and it should be more than enough. We're able to log in, go to admin, we're able to identify the name, go save a secret page, and when they log out, protected, I'm not able to go to the page, even if we type it directly, right? One last thing that I just because I mentioned it, that I want to do it, let me just comment this out. Um, secret page logic, and let's just do in our login page after the form and after the div, probably to do another div. Can do error. There we go. We can actually make this to be class background red 300, white half probably. Should work. Let's do authentication error. Authentication. And in order not to make this, as you can see, this actually pushes, right? So what I want to do here, in order not to push anything, I will to make this absolute. And I will do bottom 2, right 2, should be right there. Probably should be smaller. Let's do rounded large. Let's do padding of 4 across the board. Text center, right, text red, and we have 300 there and probably 500 to the text. Oh, no, too much. Probably let's increase it actually to 800. Yeah, a lot better. And we can make it dismissible. So what I'm going to do is we're going to create another composable. Let's call this use error. Right, and do const um, import ref from view. The const use error is going to be something. That should work. Export default use error. Right. We need to specify it, and we need to bring that to be there. And we're going to keep the local scope instead of general scope for this case. So after we have this, that means that we can actually go to the login page. We can import or use error. And from our error, let's actually put it right here. Cons equal from use error. And we need to bring the error itself and the set error. Let's actually put this false. Um, well, it should be null. I think it should be enough. And we should show in it here. Be if error. So by default the error is not there, right? So if I'm logging in, if it's a to get value, we do that one. If not, else we do set error invalid username or password. So if we try to log in, they should appear here. That means that this, instead of posting this, we need to post the error by itself. Invalid username or password. So that makes this a little bit bigger. And that should be it. We go to home, login. The error is not there. If we have something false, invalid username password, and that stays until we have a real one, and we can go right there. One last thing that I want to do is, I believe that should be more than enough. We have to go to the secret, we can able to log out, log in, and the error message happen only when we have an error. And we will be recording for over an hour and a half. But I want to do something extra. These are some components that probably we can use. It's essential composition utilities that we can just import and generate. And what I want to do actually, I want this to disappear after 3 seconds, right? I don't want to be permanently there. So how can we actually do the disappearing? Well, we just need to work with the timeout. And I was thinking probably it's going to be difficult to do it. But then I remember that there's a function also, use timeout, that this guy actually do. As you can see, this is true, and the starter, change to false, and after a second, just change back to true. It will pretty much what we needed. So we can actually do something like this, and it should be more than enough. So in order to install it, mm, so probably we can just install it. Let's try it. And instead of the error, we are actually going to go to our, use this one. And we have the error, use error, use timeout. From a timeout, we call show error. Let's change this to train. right? This by default is going to be false. So if I actually put the show error here, the error will not appear. Oh, it does. Oh, there you go. It appeared after 3 seconds, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we need to do the state to be false by default. Um, we can actually do use timeout. We have the interval option. Under options, timeout function. No, yeah, by default it's true. Sorry, by default it's yes, false and change to true. But probably we need to do something like that. Let's change this to 3, right? Let's call this. Mm, it's ready. We should show it or not. Let's see. Mm. So what we need to do is we need to stop it right away. Or we can actually have the controls through and we can actually do something extra. Comma. Um, ready. Ready. Oh, actually the false here. If I do starter, if I do this to true, it shows right away. Mm, yeah, it's not doing what I was supposed to do. So probably we can just change it. Because there are some elements that we can run before they actually get executed. Let's call before mount in view tree. So before lifecycle hooks, there you go. We can do before mount actually. Yeah, let's do this one. So probably we can import this and we need to import before on before mount. And then we can just do on before mount. I'm going to send something there. And we just need to run the stop. That should be it. This is whenever we just start, it will stop right away. The counting from the timeout. Let's see if it works. Refresh. Stop. Hmm. Nope, didn't work. Actually, we get it right away. Try to start and then stop. Yeah, no, it's not working. Probably just too much to digest and to try to implement. Yeah, it didn't work. Let me verify. What else can we do here? I really want this to make it work the way I envision. So what is happening here? Let me remove the mounted, before mount actually. We don't need that. So it's start and the 3 seconds, just show it. So probably stop jump right away. So controls, controls. Okay. Interval, options, then ready and stoppable. Mm, probably can do not ready. We're going to be true by default. Um, error. So if there is no error, it's not ready. Okay, that should work. So that means we don't need to stop. So when we have an issue, we set the error and we start to show it. Okay, valid username and password, and it disappeared. There you go. Oh, it was so simple. Sometimes we just need to verify that. Okay. So my ready is going to be true after 3 seconds, but if you don't have an error to show, but you put it there. So I just validate the other way around. So when I have an error, you show it and it disappears. Can I do something extra like a transition? opacity, probably. And what we can do with the transition opacity, we can have a dynamic class that will check this the same, and that will make to do something about it. Actually, like this, the truth, or something like this. And it can actually do opacity, opacity 100 from opacity 0. Let's see. No, you disappear right away. Yeah, that's probably too much. We can find it out that later. Um, let's just remove that absolute pure ready error transition opacity. There you go. And I believe that should be enough. Show that message there and it disappears after a while. I believe that should be more than enough. Okay, so with this we just finish this and let's deploy it. Let's do really quick. Let me just log into my, there you go, log in. I don't like it, it went right away. Let's sign out. Log in with my credentials. Go to the project and let's create a new one called Fake Auth, pointing to there. There you go, record created. Oh, wait, we need to commit this. Finish it, the code finish it. And let's push it. Git push origin master. And it went out. Cool. Let's open my console. Let me go to the server. Go to my projects folder. I will go to my GitHub now. And I need to import that site. Roman B. Fake. How I call it? I don't remember. Let me see repositories. View Fake Auth. Let's copy that. I will just clone it. Git clone that. Go to the directory. Install dependencies. Build it. Go to my distribution folder. .pwd. Save this direction somewhere. And I will create a new nginx configuration. Let's call it view. Let's call it fakeout.configuration. And this should be sudo. Oh my god. There you go. So we need to have a server. On the server we have port 80. We have server underscore name to be, what we call it? fake out. Fake out.rodoroman in my case.com, and then we do root should be this direction. Index will be my index.html. Then I need to go to, we have here the source flow. No, where is it? History mode. Just pretty much need to copy all this over and make this to be there. And let's close it. Sudo and unix-t. Oh, what's this? I can see my new one there. I see byte to do, basic route. Yeah, you can see the new one is not there. Byte to do. And then my basic route. That's it. That means that it didn't pick it up. Okay, why it didn't pick it up? Oops. Let me go to etc, nginx, configuration. Wait, so where I save it? Oh, I didn't save in configuration, I saved it in outside, it's there. So let me do sudo, so it should be here. Fake out, there you go. Sudo move fake out to configuration D. Okay, it's there. Sudo nginx-t. Fake out have a issue in the line number 2. Let's do what happened. Sudo pi, you can use nano, of course. Fake out. Server name. Port 80. Unknown directed port. Let's actually open the bit to do. It listened. Oh, sorry. I just put port and the word should be listened. Let me just copy that and sudo pi fake out, and this should be listen. Tested. Now have an issue in the 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Location. Oh, my index. This is important. Every line need to finish a semicolon. Okay, my test went fine. I can verify if it get loaded. Fake out it get loaded right here. Cool. So I can do sudo nginx-s reload. Let me check if already there. Fake out.roman.com. It is not there yet. So we just need to wait for my DNS entry to be replicated. Okay, it just got replicated and I can see that it's working. As you see, it's not secure yet because it doesn't have the HTTPS, but I'm able to navigate through the pages, login, admin, admin. Welcome, I can see the secret, I can do logout. Perfect, let me check my other user. Invalid username. There you go. Yeah. So the application is actually working. So the only things that I need to do is sudo servbot dash nginx. I can see my fake out is already in the list. I can select it because I know the other two already have. So you select number 2 and wait this to finish. So after it's actually finished, and it's going to take a minute or two, we should be able to refresh this and it should be secure. Okay, successfully deployed. Congratulations, perfect. If I refresh, I can send it to my secure connection. So that's everything. This was a really long video, really long video, but I hope that you like it. That extra elements that we had at the end just to sugarcoat a little bit, right? But other than that, I think it's what we needed. So I hope that you like it. Any question? Any doubt? Probably there are some of those. Please don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.